Welcome to the Smash Masters podcast, hosted by Stefan Eschi and Nick Priest. This is where we dig into the auto body collision repair field and talk quality repair methods and how the industry is always changing. Buckle up, it gonna get bumpy.
Well, good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
How's everyone going? Alex is first.
Alex is first.
What's up, Alex?
We got Heart Jumper coming in.
Yep. We got Hart. Tyler.
Nice to see some new names. Tyler. Nice to meet you, Tyler.
What's up, buddy?
Just kidding. And Janelle. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Mm-hmm.
We got a pretty good show today.
Yeah, we got some good stuff going on. Got the guy that spent a lot of time in collision, transferring over into PDR, doing some killing stuff with his shop, and
we don't know anybody like that.
No, absolutely not. And got a new. Well, I don't know if it's a new tool. I doubt it's a new tool. I think it's a couple of years old, but it's nonetheless a cool tool to have.
Very cool, Alex. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Alex. And speaking of Alex, we talking about SEMA. We've got that set up, right?
Yeah.
Got everything ready to come to SEMA. That's going to be fun.
Flights and hotels are booked. So we are going to be there. We arrive on Tuesday. I know the show starts Tuesday morning, but we're arriving on Tuesday. So we'll probably get over there during the day. And then we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. To be there, and at least 2 of those days we'll spend most of the day in the Cam Auto booth, because Charles is the man, as you all know, and the man with the plan. And we're excited to be doing some demos, to meet people, just enjoy SEMA. I mean, I went to SEMA last year.
Yep, you did, and I didn't.
You did not, and you have not been yet, right?
Not been yet, nope. So This will be the first year for that. So that's going to be interesting.
You're gonna love it.
And this is a new month rolling in here, and we have some Cam Auto stuff to give away. So I think this week we're going to be posting the giveaway on the Smart Mini Lifter.
Yeah.
So if you guys are in here need some tools, man, look for that, because
I just had an idea. We didn't talk about this.
Just now
I had an idea.
Okay.
So I'm thinking we'll do the regular Facebook post for the giveaway. But then if you want an extra bonus entry, you go and follow us on TikTok.
Oh, okay. Extra bonus entries on TikTok. That sounds good.
I think that's give you an advantage.
Yeah.
Those of you that already follow us on TikTok, you're already good with that. You just got to enter on the Facebook giveaway. So.
Okay. All right. That'll be fun. Yeah, we need that 1,000 followers so we could go live on there and reach more people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but TikTok's the big thing right now. So, we'd love to go live on there, but they have that rule that you need at least 1,000 followers to go live. So we'll get there, I'm sure. Hey, Brandon.
Yeah. Absolutely, we'll get there.
How you doing?
Oh, we're just doing lovely.
Loverly.
Nice to see you.
Let's bring Jerod in.
All right, let's have a look at Jerod. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man, nice to have you.
Nice to have you.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're in Arizona.
Yes, sir. Like the Phoenix metro area.
Phoenix. Okay. All right.
I have been to Arizona, actually. I stayed in Sedona, Red Rocks, and in Phoenix.
Subcase.
So I've been into Arizona. It's been a long time, but it was gorgeous there.
Yeah.
Just absolutely gorgeous.
It's nice in the winter. Don't come in the summer.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a little warm. Today's pretty muggy and I don't know, 112, 115, something like that. So
I just saw. Hold on, Danny said he's glue pulling aircraft.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that is cool.
That's on my bucket list to get called for an aircraft someday.
Yeah. So have you glue pulled any aircrafts or anything, Jerod?
I've done a couple like small planes, and then I did a 747 leading edge of a wing.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
that
Well,
was way thicker than a light airplane.
well, Brandon's comment stands corrected here.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Jared's a badass. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. What's up? What's up, Gene?
Yep. Gene.
Daniel?
Did a jet once. Damn.
Yeah, man, that's awesome right there.
Well, if anyone can
I don't
glue
know.
pull something, it's Gene. So
Yeah, we know a guy that does some glue pulling. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that 747 was not a fun time. I don't think that I would do it again, but they were in a hard situation and it worked out all right. But
You kind of got to
was
try
not
it at least
soft.
once, though, right? You got to
Yeah,
give it
yeah.
one good go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, like how you started out in a collision shop, right? So, give it.
Yeah.
What
So
is
I've
a-
been in go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. Give us a rundown of that. Tell us what that's kind of like. I know you're on the Ginger Rose podcast, not too long ago, and you
Yeah.
gave, that whole thing, but and
Yeah,
that's
I'm
cool.
sure there's
We,
different.
we love the Ginger Bros, and they do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But you get to tell the story again. So
So I've been in some facet of collision repair since '01, and just started out at a dealership body shop, and then mostly independent body shops. I worked at and owned a custom like hot rod body shop for a while. Got to do some primarily like I said on the body side, but some Redler like Elite 8 award winners and some America's Most Beautiful Roadster winners, and $300,000 motorcycles, and just a bunch of stuff. And then went back to the collision side. I was fortunate to work for a really good shop down here, which is the last shop I worked at before getting onto my own as PDR. And we used a CRM called Phoenix Solutions. So while I was running that, we were ranked #1 in the nation, which was a pretty cool thing. Always just like put the repair first, and
Awesome.
we used that shop used to be on DRPs and got out of it because there was some conflict on repairs and trying to get the best product out.
No way.
And
No way.
time frames, repair processes, repair costs, and so after we got off of those programs, like I said, we were ranked pretty well in the nation, and then that shop was sold out, and I knew it was coming, and the owner and I both talked about it, came to an understanding. I waited until it was sold and then put in my notice and went off on my own doing PDR. So I was lucky to run that and do some PDR out of that same shop.
nice. So for the people that have worked on airplanes or glue pulled or anything, Daniel asked this comment. He said he feels like the liability on repairs wouldn't be worth it.
That's why I would not do it again, probably.
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, that's wanted to get people's opinions that's actually been a part of it that have been there. So
Well,
Yeah, I've heard there's supposed to be an FAA technician to sign off on the repairs after they were performed, was what was explained to me. I did it for a company that remanufactures jets, for large companies. So it had somebody's stamp of approval after I had worked on it. somebody who knows what they're talking about with jets, not just a PDR guy. So
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's kind of, I would assume that's the same kind of thing that Gene's talking about here, working with aircraft mechanic, watching everything you did and stuff. So
yep,
has to have somebody else sign off on it. And
yeah.
that's pretty cool because I didn't think about talking about airplane glue pulling before we entered the show. So that's some pretty
No.
cool stuff.
I'm always thinking about airplane glue pulling.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
it does
that
seem cool. I just to have done it. I mean, I'm into aerospace and planes and space and all that stuff. So like that's just cool stuff.
Yeah. It was a cool the place I did the 747 was a really cool place because they rebuild entire jets there. So it was, like the size of, I don't know, like 4 or 5 like Walmart buildings all together, and they have different areas for engines and components, and so it's dismantled jets and refurbished and put back together. So it's pretty cool.
all right. All right.
That's funny. Well, was in the military, so he would know something.
Yeah.
Alex, now I'm thinking about airplane dent pulling. Yep, Danny is doing it at the moment. He said we'll chat later. That's cool, man. You do you. I appreciate you dropping in.
Yeah,
saying
man.
Hi. Not until TIs and science catch up. Yeah, I mean, there's elasticity to metal. There's all sorts of things, and yeah, when you move it, it does change a bit. So I understand. I understand. They do their research and everything, and maybe needs to be redone, researched, but who knows?
An updated standard operating procedure.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put myself in any kind of liability situation. So this is all good.
Yeah.
This is all good info. Because if somebody had asked me yesterday if I wanted to do a dent on a plane yesterday, I would have just driven over there and did it. So
Yeah.
now I know.
Yeah.
Lots of things involved.
Yeah, Tyler's pulling the 747 in. Science does play a big role. Science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Well,
So you did the collision work, and
do you still do collision work?
Yeah.
I'll do some like very minor collision work, through insurance. A couple weeks ago, I think Nick was actually on a live, and we were chatting a little bit back and forth. But I did I forgot which insurance company, but it was a side swipe, and I was able to PDR fender, front door, crease all the way through it, and just like prepped it out because it went through the base coat or through the clear into the base. So I was able to PDR it all and prep it to 800, no primer or anything, but it did need sprayed. So then I had it sprayed, and it was a pretty quick, clean thing once you get through battling the insurance company. But
Sure.
that adjuster was actually pretty cool. He understood like a conventional repair would have needed blending the rear door, which had a bunch of one-time use parts. So he got those dollars to match up pretty well, even though I was able to minimize how much paint work needed to be done on that repair.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
I mean, that's that's what I'm doing right now. I'm still in a collision shop. So I attack every repair that way. I reduce the repair area, I reduce the amount, and if I could save a blend, I ask for more time, because I deserve it. I just saved you a blend. So it's or I'm taking out little dings and dents on blend panels and stuff as customer courtesy. It's very cool using these skills in the collision setting. There's very few people doing it, especially as an employee at a shop. I think mostly it's still done kind of sublet, So
I used to do a ton of those as a employee, just taking out dents and blend panels just for free or knowledge or practice or however you want to look at it.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still learning. I mean, I only started. Oh, okay, cool. um, I'm still learning. So at PDR, I mean, I've been doing PDR maybe a year now. So I mean, I can glass out some stuff, but it takes me quite a while. So any amount of practice I can get to build up the experience and get things going like without even thinking about them, that's what
Yeah.
I'm focused on. So
Yeah.
it's
I mean, I am not a fast technician. So like there's some guys that are super quick and it's really impressive to me, but like it takes me a little while and
sure.
just looking for the end result.
You take on some nasty stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I'll take on some nasty dents.
That Toyota tailgate was pretty nasty.
Yeah, it was a lot worse than the customer's photo.
Well, yeah, yeah. The
customer's photo did not make it look very bad.
Sorry about that, but yeah, this is your tailgate video. I mean, let's go back to the beginning because it was nasty. Look at that. I mean,
yeah, it was way worse than the customer's picture. And then I had paint damage, and I was like, "Why are you even doing PDR?" But he still wanted it PDR'd, so.
Yeah.
And those tailgates are just like Toyota tailgates. I think pretty much every tailgate, just they're thick. They seem to use a little bit thicker gauge, and then they're still like the high strength steel on the Toyota. So
they're super difficult.
They'll battle you.
Yeah, for sure. No, but
I could only even though his photo looked much lighter once it showed up, I really couldn't justify much more as far as the PDR cost, especially considering the paint damage. It was like, at this point, you might as well just paint it. You're going to probably have it touched up or painted after anyways.
Right.
So I got what I felt was kind of everything I could out of it, where I felt comfortable, and then just work through it.
That's a killer job, though. When jobs like that come through, and you see Brandon posting that tailgate he did recently on aluminum, and killer jobs come out like that, dude. That's something else, man.
Yeah,
it's inspiring.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, for those of us that are starting out, it almost gives us a goal, like, so I mean, I want to do that. Like, that's what I want to do. I took a door home that was replaced from a Tiguan, and
I saw that the other day. Yeah. I think you were live on it. Yeah.
So I mean, I just brought that home just for fun. I wanted to see what I could do, and it's at the point where it's ready for filler, has been for a little bit, but of course I'm pushing myself further. I mean, I want to get as close to push to paint, or I might have dimpled it up a little bit too much already, but man, that damage was strong. So it's I'll give myself a little bit of leeway if I end up messing it up a little bit.
Yeah, that thing was it was tacoed in there pretty good.
Yeah, that was nice. So, I mean, you're obviously really good at PDR work and collision work. So, what is there anything that you could like Stefan said, he dimpled it up a little bit, or if there's young people here starting PDR, is there any kind of like small kind of guidance or anything you can small talk somebody through just to help them along, maybe?
I'll start with I'm right at 4 years into just like PDR, and being honest with you guys, I'll still have days or a whole week where it's like, I don't even know if I did the right thing. I feel like I just suck at PDR sometimes, and it's like, you have a bad day or a bad dent and then another one, and you you just keep pushing through. So I think that's one thing is like persistence. Like you're going to have bad days. You're going to have bad dents. Push through them, keep trying to learn off of them. And then as far as, trying to make repairs a little bit better, really like utilizing some softer tips, not going to metal, or at least not going to sharp metal tips early in a repair. You can even use like a broad metal, whether it's like a dolly tip or a spoon tip or something like that, where it's broad and it's going to pick up all of the orange peel consistently. You can use that before you go to a sharp, but trying to stay to rubber, plastic, or a very broad metal tip all the way until close to the end, so you don't chew things up.
Yeah. So if you get you start tackling stuff with like a little BB tip straight off the bat, man.
You're just gonna chew it. Yeah,
you're
chew it
asking
up.
for trouble.
That was one of the issues I was having before I went to train with David, and he got to me using the soft stuff and for much longer than I thought I had to, and it changed the game. It really did. So no, I totally 100% agree. That's a little inside joke there from Brandon.
Yeah, it is. It is. And Hart says he feels that on that stuff. So get some good plastic cushiony type tips, some soft tip tools, and go at it with that. And don't let one bad dent that you couldn't finish all the way kind of make you want to go the other route just because of that. So okay.
Sometimes it's sometimes it's like, I don't know if it's me just hyper like analyzing, like, you're looking at an overhead shop light 40 feet away, 20 feet up in the ceiling, and you're walking the orange peel versus like you pull that thing out and 99.5% of people would never see it. But like, it's still like is in you to like try to get that little bit out. And it's a balance, you got to find that balance of like what's right for the car, what's right for the customer. Yep. Is it really better for like a flicker of orange peel to like repaint a quarter panel versus saving it? There's, I don't know, I feel like there's some trade-off between like a bad collision dent that you're PDRing versus like going conventional repair.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm learning those levels where you really, I feel, because I'm over critiquing my work 100% because I've always done that. And with PDR, it's tough because you just don't end up stopping. You just keep going, past where you should. And I'm starting to find that happy place where it's like, okay, turn the light off, take another look at it. If you can't find it, move the hell on. Move on to the next one. I'm starting to get that, and especially, oh my God, the wholesale work. The wholesale work drives me insane because I do PDR on the weekends, Fridays and weekends. I have an LLC, and I have a couple local dealerships, and it's I had to get used to. At first, I was overcharging. They were paying, but then I'd get it and I'd glass it out, and I'd realize that that's not what they were looking for. They were looking for just make it better, and we really only want to pay $69 a panel. So
make it work. It doesn't catch your eye.
Right. And so okay, all right. So I'm starting to get it.
Yeah. But then again, like if it's something that's like a soft, I don't know if I'd say typical door ding, but like a normal soft dent, like you should be able to get it out where, basically nobody can find it. But you get into something that's like a BB shot or a stretch dent or a sharp edge, it's like I think you're gonna have to be okay with some imperfections. And
I get caved
for a lot of us, that's a hard thing to eat.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, no, I'm getting it. Daniel gets his wife to check his work. I wish I had someone to check my work.
You say that.
Well, I did it today and it was nice because all right, so I finished the hail car and I told myself in the morning, I said, I'm gonna switch this to a push to paint. That way I can knock it out, get to the next one, and they'll just paint the roof and the hood. So I finished and I went to the manager. I'm like, let's switch this to a push to paint so paint has something to do. And back there, he's like, well, they got a few jobs. Let me come look at it. And he comes and looks at the car, and it's a black car. And he goes, he's like, this doesn't need paint. I'm like, you sure? What about this? He's like, I didn't see it till you pointed it out. No one's gonna see that, you know. Like I'm just like, but it's in my head. It needs paint. But yeah, I like having someone check it. Honestly, I'm overcritical of myself. So whenever I have someone check it, everybody always goes, no, that's great. It's like, okay, so I need that.
You need some extra reassurance.
I guess so. I mean, Danny Hacker said I needed to be more sure of myself, I guess.
Confident.
I guess that's what it is. He even called out, and he only spent 4 days with me in Oklahoma. So.
Yeah, and I could really see that too while we were there, pushing and stuff. I mean, I get it. I
use it a little bit to push myself, So if I'm overly critical of myself, that pushes me to get better and better instead of getting lazy and being okay with whatever.
Yeah.
So, I have to make it so it's not unhealthy, though.
Yeah, I think most good PDR techs have that in them, though. Otherwise, like, they're not going to grow. They'll be the just like the hack gypsy dent guy in the neighborhood, or the very low end wholesale guy for forever if they don't have that drive to improve. So.
Right. We've got some of those. Oh, look at this guy staying up all night.
Right. This guy right here.
Yeah, I knew it.
What's up, Clive?
Clive is over in the UK. We appreciate you staying up, bro.
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah, we love having you here.
Yeah, he's recently been starting glue pulling some heavy stuff and getting in that line. So that's really cool to see him advancing his skills and stuff.
Yeah, and, I mean the whole lateral tension, to open things up and relieve tension is, although it's not a new concept, it's gained a lot of traction over the last couple of years, and that's just so big for large damage. So.
It sounds kind of stupid if you think about it. You're just gluing a rope to a piece of a panel and then pulling it out. Like, wow, why didn't I think of that? But it's so cool.
Yeah,
it is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is, and it helps get the panel back into shape. Gregory, what's up, buddy? He just got a L2E kit set up over at his shop, and man,
yeah, he did. That's right. I saw a video of that.
Yep, absolutely. So
very cool. Did Gregory? You could tell us in the comments if you had your Kiko training come by yet. Probably not. It takes a while to schedule those.
Yeah, I don't know if Clive's had Kiko training where he's at or not, or how he's where his latest stuff is. But from what I've seen, in the past, he was coming along pretty good with it. So
nice. I haven't seen anything. I guess my algorithm's not showing me his stuff anymore. I guess.
What's happening?
Hey, Chad.
Yeah. So September 10th. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I actually have a question. So, when you were doing collision work full time, did you do any glue pulling back then?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I've been doing glue pulling for I don't know, 10 years or so.
Down with the Worth tabs.
Yeah, Worth stuff, and when Cam Auto was first available in the US, I have a monster Cam Auto bridge that I'm sure he hasn't sold in many years. That's 1/4 inch thick bridge.
Okay.
That is it's a interesting setup, but yeah, I've been doing glue pulling even on frame racks for 10 years or more.
Nice.
OG.
Yeah, the
That's
OG.
awesome. I mean, that around those times, I mean, I was doing body work then, but everybody said, "Oh, that stuff doesn't stick." You know, it just didn't
Yeah.
even get demoed. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, Snap-on had the set that you could buy on their truck for a little while, and
I bought it.
yeah, you could get it, you could use it, but it just wasn't out there on what it was really, for, I guess.
Man, I guess it's been like almost 15 years. It's 2010. Yeah. I was thinking when I got my first glue pull stuff was 2010. Yeah.
Chad, I've been seeing your videos. Keep it up, bro. It's very very awesome to see.
Yeah, yep, it is. I mean, in 26 years in the collision industry, and you're trying something new. That's
It's almost unheard of. I mean,
that-
you're in the minority and you're
right.
in the smarter minority, and we were trying to bring more people over to the light side,
Absolutely.
and do some glue pulling, figure out how to use the light instead of your hands, and then if you use your hands afterwards, that's fine, just cut down on your work and speed your stuff along. And that you used to work with Chad. Oh, cool.
I'm sure Daniel had a part in coaching him to go do the glue pulling.
Probably.
That's cool though,
I lost
nonetheless.
my
Though.
train of thought.
Yeah. I mean, I think, as manufacturers keep pushing glue pulling versus welding, and like I said, it's been a little bit since I've been out of the collision side, but last I knew, like Fiat Chrysler didn't want, stud weld hot repairs on pretty much any body panel. So as more manufacturers and groups manufacturers go that route, it should just keep increasing, but there's always going to be people out there repairing them, however they want, regardless. So.
Almost every day I get a comment on at least one of my videos that has some glue pulling on it. Oh, you just wasted all that time messing around with that glue. I could have had that in glaze and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you just watched a 30-second video and you think you know how long it took me to glue pull? Like, it's just, they're just telling me that they haven't used it, or they used it once, didn't work, and they decided it's just crap.
And doesn't know the benefits about it. Like, going back to the Snap-on mini lifter and their glue. I mean, you're taking it to a collision shop, and collision guys usually have big panels to repair. And you've got this little bitty tab and this little bitty lifter, and people are automatically going, now, we can't use that. I don't know what to do with that. So it's only recently, I guess, just started taking off. I mean, I started glue pulling in 2018, and there still wasn't really the stuff that's out there today. And GM doesn't either.
Yeah, he said GM. He said Chrysler GM.
Yeah.
But Chad, I don't know. I didn't mean to stop you mid-sentence there, Nick. I didn't.
No. Go ahead.
So I post as You Break I Fix on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You Break I Fix 47. Nick posts as Collision Tech _Nick. I don't know if you have a YouTube though.
I do, but I really don't post anything on YouTube.
Yeah, and you're
very rarely
a better
repair.
A
better repair, AZ. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Instagram or Facebook are both A Better Repair.
It's all about short videos now, Chad. So that's my TikTok's my main platform. Facebook for some reason gave me like 40,000 followers. I put no effort into Facebook, but I'll take it, But once in a while I'll post to YouTube. But their shorts program is horrible. Their audios are horrible. The editing is horrible, and they only allow 60 seconds. So none of my videos fit. Somebody's got a fire in your room.
Yep, that'd be me. Seem to hear a fire truck at least once a day over here.
We fix fire trucks at my shop, so I hear them all day, every day.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, they do heavy duty on the other side of my shop. So
Well, Clive, he's been in 26 years, and he's just starting also. So he says we're
Yeah.
helping push things over in that direction here. So that's awesome, man. We love it.
Yeah. No,
And
it's definitely the future.
yeah, and Case, brings up a good point. Talking about glue pulling looks easier than it is. So uh, it's definitely something that you have to work at
Well,
for sure.
so I mean, going back to
What's
those
up,
comments
Corey?
that I get all the time are the people that tell me I'm wasting my time with glue and they could have it in mud and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
It's really hard to take such a negative comment and try and not be negative back. But I mean, really, I'm trying to take these people and convert them, So it's like, well, it really didn't take me that long. And if you follow along, you'll see some more videos, evidence of that fact. I hope you don't leave, something to
Yeah.
that effect, and usually I get zero response, but I'm trying to bring it out to the world. And it's not like I'm making money on the social media videos to the point where it offsets my work. I have to produce work at work. So if I'm using glue pulling, clearly it's producing,
Yeah.
otherwise I wouldn't have my job.
Well, hopefully you've probably converted some of the people in your shop or even former shops
Yeah, my
into
former
some
shop.
glue
Yep.
pulling too, which, same thing when I was in there every once in a while. There's stuff you can get hammer and dolly behind, but when it's like a cab corner or something and they don't want to throw studs on it, they're like, can you help me glue pull this? And, you know,
I
takes
exact
30 minutes and it's roughed out, and then
and then they're
they're
like,
then they're excited right then,
right.
and most people usually give up on it. So it's really, you have to be consistent of like going to that first and
Yeah.
getting familiarized with it.
It's the lateral tension that I've seen. Every time I've shown somebody a lateral tension, they converted, or at least they started messing with glue. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just taking something that's massive, and I'm like, look, we'll put a little lateral tension and a little pressure, and it'll just go boom, and it will be mostly gone. And they're like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
right. I'm like, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
show them, and yeah, that's
yeah.
the easiest way for me to convert
Yeah.
them.
And
Take a take a
every
12-hour dent down to a 30-minute dent.
Yep, and like Shane says, he quite a few body shops into glue pulling, helping them work big damage and stuff. Really, it just comes down to uh, they want to know like what is the real life glue and stuff that we're using. Can we get down to what I actually need? And lots of times people will just go for it. They just want a little bit, and then they can learn, as they go. And I've run into that a few times myself, because I, outside looking in the PDR community, and you go to this place and you're like, oh well, there's this glue and that glue, and there's 30 different colors with this, that, and the other, and you're like, well, I don't know what to buy.
Hmm.
I don't know
Yeah,
what does what.
Yep.
So that's confusing to a lot of people, and
yeah,
you know, we're trying to make our case with a few things and a few stuff that we like to enjoy. So
man. Without any bias, if it has collision at the end of the glue, it's probably all right. Anson has one, Cam has one,
Yep.
uh, uh,
Metal Medic has one.
Kiko has one, Metal Medic has one. If it has
Yep.
collision at the end, it's probably got the strength you need for at least a lateral tension pull.
yeah.
I mean, I tell everybody there's lots of different kinds of glues, but there's basically two kinds of glues. There's the collision, and which is more of a slower setting but more
Hmm.
flexible glue, and then there's the mostly PDR glue, which is faster setting, more brittle glue. And I mean, depending on what you're doing, choose your glue, and then each company makes. There's a whole bunch of
Various
those.
different types. You
Yeah.
have hot weather, cold weather.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you can dial it into that effect. But I love all these comments coming in. Hart says he's struggling with glue pulling. I'd love for you to just stick around. You say you follow me, so you can send me a message with what issues you're having, and I'll try and work out with you what step of the process you're missing. But if you want to check out the process that I feel is the best one, Kiko 6C process, just go to pull2paint.com. Pull2paint.com has a perfect layout of the glue pulling process, completely free, all put out there by Kiko. So that's that's where I would start. Case is trying to help Hart. Yeah, I love it.
Very nice. And Chad bought a L2E system, K-Power bars, using them in body shops. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be long before that's going to be the dominated way to work on cars. Kind of like, and when you would drill holes and kind of weld them up or whatever people did, use fiberglass and just fiberglass over them to stud pulling, dent pulling, that kind of way, to now it's going to be glue pulling, tabs, tension bars, all that type of stuff.
Just like it was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was in a body shop for to save a cab corner with glue pulling, because cab corner can be a pretty invasive repair.
Yeah.
And it was a newer truck, so they wanted to save that. And while I was there, they were showed me this smashed Camry quarter panel, and I was like, man, that Camry, he was like, I'll buy you lunch if you could save that. That quarter panel's on back order for a month. And I was like, that quarter panel is way easier of a repair than this cab corner is. Like, the quarter panel's got a bunch of surface area. You can pull it back. It's going to want to relax, to where that cab corner is tiny and compact. And it was a super sharp, fifth wheel turn type of hit. So all of the tension was in a ball, and it was like, man, the value in saving that quarter is way more than the value of saving that cab corner, to the shop, at least for the parts price. And it was way easier of a repair. So turned one job into 2 jobs, and the quarter panel, I thought, was about half as much time as that cab corner was. Just because of the build and the surface area that you have to work with.
Yep. No, I love that kind of stuff, and my current shop is using me that way to save all the panels that are on back order. So
it's a perfect way to do it.
I'm loving it. I mean, that's my favorite part of the process. I love repairing.
Saving all the factory welds and the factory panel and minimize it. I mean, I think that's a very valuable asset to the glue pulling collision hybrid.
You do need to know what you're doing. If you got one of those lower, your lower seam is a bonded seam, and if you're pulling on it and that bond breaks, you got to change the quarter now. You just have to. So, I mean, there are rules to this kind of stuff, but as long as you know that ahead of time, you can use the proper tools to make sure that bond seal doesn't break. Give it some pressure outwards as you're working it, so you're not just yanking the skin off the outer wheelhouse. So there's it gets complex, but when you know your stuff, it can be a lot of fun.
It does, but there's way more tools to get stuff like that out now than there used to be. Used to, you could just take that stick or like a slide hammer and just kind of, knock that thing out, and you're kind of being damaging to the panel. But now, you can just lightly glue pull it and push on it from the backside with a porta power or something, and it releases way nicer than what we had a few years ago.
That's worth way more than lunch. You got that right.
Yeah.
Right.
My skills are worth more than pizza.
Well, it was a steak dinner and the pay, so not just lunch.
Joel, I'm glad you're here, man. 3 years in the collision industry. We started the show for people just like you.
Absolutely, we did.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yes, hang in here, man. We got a lot of really talented collision and PDR techs in here. So,
not just that. I mean, we're bringing in some pretty cool things and some cool concepts, and we got some shows planned that are going to be well worth the wait.
Gonna be fun stuff. Yeah. Yeah. A little later on.
Chad is writing us a novel. An insurance adjuster for Progressive told our manager that PDR is bad on cars because they rust out from the backside being scratched up by pushing. I guess the stud gun or Pro Spot resistant slide hammer doesn't burn the E-coat off the inside. Well, I'll tell you, the Baytag Flatliner, if you have it set correctly, does not burn the E-coat off the inside.
It does not burn the E-coat. You're right, but a soft tip tool doesn't scratch the inside. So,
or even like a plastic sharp tip, you can get pretty sharp plastic tip and still not touch the E-coat. So.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if you can reach it with a rod, you can reach it with a spray can, a primer.
Yeah.
And if not that, you can definitely get it
cavity
with
wax. Yeah.
So
Yep.
we have our
What's up?
corrosion protection means,
Subly.
and I would like to see more of the PDR community using cavity wax than I see. I mean, all I see is a social media, but I mean, I share it when I use it, so
Yeah.
it's an important part of the process. I mean, we are scratching the paint off the backside, so.
Yep, that's and that just like collision work and glue pulling isn't evolving. We've got all these new PDR tools now that help with that are coming out. So just because you think, oh, that's a new this, nobody needs that's what this stuff is for, to correct some of those scratching problems and things.
So Corey says insurance adjusters are uneducated to save the insurance company money. As soon as they started doing that, the shop I was working in at that when that basically started. I mean, it started just before I started in this trade, I'll guess. But we still had a bunch of insurance adjusters that knew some stuff that hadn't retired yet. So once they started all retiring and getting out, and all of a sudden all we had were college grads that knew nothing, which is what insurance companies hire. My boss at the shop I was at, every time he had to explain something to an adjuster, he added them another supplement that added 0.5, educate insurance adjuster. Every single time, and he usually got paid for it. I mean,
really,
if you're gonna put these people out here and you're gonna make me educate them, now that's more time. It took time, so I'll educate them, but you're gonna pay for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so people
you
add
could
that
use
to
that.
your supplements.
Yeah, we're gonna add that to some supplements this week.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good for him. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, I will say he had only 2 DRPs, and they were like the easiest ones to use. And he had like 20 some odd manufacturer certifications. That was obviously where he went with his thing. Notice you had a Baytag Flatliner. Yeah, they are. If they're set up correctly, I mean, honestly, if you look in the back, it does not burn off. And I didn't believe that. Before I used the Baytag Flatliner, Juan Carlos posted about how it doesn't burn the backside. And my mind was blown. So I made sure to look up the exact settings I should be using on that before I started using it. Because you can set the settings to a point where it does burn the backside. But if you have it set up correctly, it's nice.
Yeah, that's cool. 0.5 for educating the adjuster.
Hell yeah.
All day.
If you're gonna pass that off on me, you're gonna pay for it.
Right. So we have a little bit of time left. You have a tool that you made. You want to talk about that for a second and let people know?
Tool review section.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I just make like a flat bar. It's pretty basic. I feel like people will ask me about it, and the magic's always in the technician. It's not in the tool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's a couple pictures. I've got a couple here too. But so I do a 20-inch and a 30-inch flat bar. They're stainless, TIG welded, just kind of set up to help with going down windows, doing door body lines. That's a picture of a Challenger, which a lot of times those suck. So this kind of has a curve to get into a Challenger body line or a TIG 1 body line without having to pull anything apart. And then just doing like reverse pushing like that photo. So I'll throw like a rubber ball on the one end, and then you're grabbing the other end and pulling out towards you, where you wouldn't have a leverage point otherwise. So you're leveraging from further away from you and then pulling towards. So that works good for like taillight pockets towards a headlight opening, or like lower bedside, stuff like that, where, getting a leverage point for PDR or roughing out for a collision repair is kind of tricky. So.
Yeah. So Corey's using it right now. I've been using it, and Hart wants to know when those things are for sale. Those are up and ready now, right?
Yeah. So my website's just abetterrepair.com, and they're up on there, ready to ship out.
All right.
Just kind of tried to fill a need in between. So it seemed like there were a lot of flat bars that some were too stiff to where you can't bend them because they're made of like spring steel, and some that were a little too soft and they would just flex out. So just tried to make something that was quick to set up, doesn't take a ton of time, and then still has the power that you need to get in and push out a dent.
Okay. All right. So Shane is asking, is it bendable if you wanted to? I mean, obviously you could bend
so it is, because they're bent. They're bent when you make them, when I make them. But I usually say that I bow them. So if I need some more clearance, like to clear a window frame or something, I'll put the one end down where it's vertical, and I'll use my body weight to put a little bit of extra bow into it. So it's not like a hard bend. With that said, though, I also have people who have had them for 3 or 4 years and haven't bent it once, so it's already kind of pre-bent to where it's a pretty usable shape. But if you have to bend it, bend it. I mean, it's a tool, it's there to make you money, and that's what it's there for.
Sure.
I think Jim Mitchell, when he had one to sample, he ran it over with a dually and put it through some torture tests, and he's like, I can't break it, so it's good to go.
Yeah, Gregory's gonna
should be fine.
Gregory said he's gonna go try it out. This week? So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Make sure you go and give that thing a go, man. I've got one, and it's a super nice. I use it anytime I can, so it's been well worth it. It's a really usable tool, and to get you out of a tight jam, especially like going down those doors and stuff where you on that body line. I don't know how you come up with that curvature or that wide pushing angle, but
dumb luck, or I don't know. You take it however you want, but it's precise, but it's still very broad. Yeah,
it's nice. And Clive says it's nice. Would you by chance ship to UK or anything if people wanted to?
Yeah, I've shipped them pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
Shipped them to countries that I didn't even know existed. So
really, okay, all right, nice. So you can get them over there on your side, Clive, if you so choose.
I know shipping to certain places they'll have some kind of hefty shipping costs or taxes, but duties. But if you're willing to pay the shipping, I'm willing to ship it out there.
As I was looking at flat bars, I mean, I went through my PDR training, and David White told me about the dent dial. And I think he has one, and he showed it to me. He's like, you gotta get a flat bar, these are great and everything. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm getting a dent dial, and then I didn't. And somebody said, oh, you should check out a better bar. So okay, so I went and I asked, like, I think it was 4 or 5 different PDR techs. I said, all right, I want both, what should I get first? And all of them told me, I no longer use my dent dial, I just use a better bar. So right away, I still want both, but I'm going to start by ordering a better bar. I've been putting it off forever, but I will do it this Friday, because I need a good flat bar. I do. Yeah, I keep noticing a need for it. Just like Corey said, saves you from slipping, because I can't tell you how many times I've got that one spot where you can only get a little angle and a little bit this, and every time I put pressure on it, just and I make a snail trail or whatever they call it, and
Yeah.
and then I have to knock all that down and everything. I definitely
Sometimes
it's in the
that
shopping cart.
that takes as long to clean up as the dent would have.
Right.
You get
Yep.
sharp tool trail going through there, and
It's an ugly thing.
it can be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, if you this one would be a good recommendation for me to try if you wanted to try out, because I love this thing.
Daniel's gonna go
Yeah.
make his own.
He's gonna go make his own.
That's what he does.
That's fine. I had a guy in somewhere in the UK, and I forgot what it was, but like the shipping was like the same as a tool cost, and I just told him like, this is the stuff that it takes to make it. Like, I'm, by hand shaping the tips and everything, so you're gonna have a little bit varied. But I was like, if it's gonna cost you $300 to ship it, like, this is generally what it is. Make your own. Like, don't don't worry about it. And it's like, I think tools are an investment, but again, it's the technician that has the magic. It's usually not the tool. There's people in Brazil that can repair stuff with a broom handle better than I can repair it with 20 grand worth of tools. And it's just it's the magic in the person, not necessarily
right.
what you got. So
You're absolutely right. I see some pretty amazing things overseas,
Yes, there are really cool stuff.
especially in areas where they can't get parts.
Throw up that better bar discount code. We'll order them up.
I can figure something out. But yeah, I was gonna say I do have. I don't know if Nick's used it like this yet, but one thing that I kind of try to do on these. The camera's like backwards, so it's hard to see. But I'll throw like a handle in where it's perpendicular up top here when I'm going in a window.
Yeah.
And then you can get this like kind of broad pushing tip onto a body line. But your shoulder, you can get your eye like down to the body line height and push with your shoulder instead of your hand being like way up high where you have no like strength and power. And it's so much more ergonomical and so much easier on your body than having your hand way up top.
I like it.
Good tips for the better bar. And yeah, if you want to throw up a discount code, or not, you ain't got to do it now, but just to kind of get one drummed up for these guys.
Yeah, we'd love to share.
Yeah, I could do that for you guys too.
If not, I feel like they're very fairly priced, honestly.
I mean, they are. They're. I feel like once the guys actually get them, using them, they'll feel good about it. But yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys going out to PDR Expo? I know you've kind of talked about it here and there on the fence.
No, I don't think we're gonna really just have time to hit.
We decided on SEMA instead this year, and we're definitely going to go to MTE. So that hotel's already booked.
Yeah.
For me, it was deciding between the two. MTE is a lot easier for both of us to get to.
Yeah.
And we just had a hell of a time last year. We won't want to miss
James?
it. We don't want to miss it this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe
so
next year we won't go to SEMA, and maybe we'll do PDR Expo instead.
Yeah.
I mean, MT is going to be so much bigger, but yeah. So I think that's the smart choice between the two.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, this has been my first time going to SEMA, so I want to go check some, that stuff out and see what we have going on there. And we have to go to MTE and hang out with everybody there. We met a lot of people there, a lot of fun stuff going on. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a blast. And looking back on it, I mean, it's almost back around that time to go. Before you know it, we'll be back. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, they'll be coming up soon.
You plan on being at MTE any?
Yeah,
Or
I'll be out there. Yep.
Okay.
Not SEMA. I think I'm going to do Den Expo and then MT.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. We'd be looking forward to having some hangout time with you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
I mean, we certainly are a PDR podcast, but I think we're, I mean, just like all three of us, we're born in collision.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of focused on that crowd and bringing these kinds of repair methods to the collision industry. So I think that was part of the reason why we decided to do SEMA. Plus, Nick's never been.
I've never been. No.
And you gotta see SEMA at least once.
Yeah.
You do.
I mean, SEMA's it's insane. You're walking for, I don't know, 20 miles over like 3 days, 25 miles. It's pretty nuts. Yeah.
It's nuts. Yeah, Shane, you better be there. You weren't there last year.
Nope, you weren't there last year, but we're gonna hang out with you. And if you need some help doing hail work, just let me know.
No, let me know.
What?
I'm closer.
Okay.
I got family in DC.
Okay, let Stefan know.
Let
Let him know. So yeah.
You're already too busy, you said, Nick.
I am. I am.
I need the work.
I am.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Well,
it's a good problem to have. Jared. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Thank you guys.
I really appreciate it. It was kind of last minute. I'm sorry for misspelling your name on the promotions. You can rest assured that happens to me all the time.
Yeah, me too. I've never gotten a gas station keychain. They're never spelled right. So
I've gotten them with a Sharpie writing in the right spelling. That's what I've gotten.
My favorite part about watching this stuff with Stefan is watching people try to pronounce his last name. The people try, they don't want to botch his name up, and then they're kind of sweating, and then they're kind of fishing for, clues, and it's fun.
Looking at me for help.
Yeah.
It's Eshy. It's Eshy.
Yeah.
But anyway, you didn't know my last name till yesterday, Janelle says.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to stick you in the back room, Jared. Don't go anywhere. We'll say our goodbyes after I hit the off live button.
Cool. Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. That was a great show. What do you think?
That's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. I mean, we
Alex agrees.
Yep. We try to do have some collision, glue pull, all the stuff that we all like to do.
Tool review
in one show, and I think it was a good show. And Jerod definitely has some really cool stuff. And we'll for the guys that want it, we'll try to get a little discount code, and maybe you can have better bars for yourself.
Wow,
you guys have a good night.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate you guys stopping by.
You make me feel all warm and fuzzy.
And if anybody happens to be at SEMA, hunt us down. We'll hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Clive's still up. Go to bed, man. Clive.
Yeah. I appreciate it, though, man. That means a lot.
I really do. Thanks, Janelle.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes. Yep, we will. Have fun. Have a good one.
Bye-bye, everybody.